But here is the truth. The reason why we're medically transitioning children, the reason why we're medically transitioning adults is because of two reasons. The first reason is financial.
Right.
And I know that here in the UK we have, socialized medicine, all that kind of stuff. We produce puberty blockers in the United States, and I guarantee you when you come over, and say, hey, we need, some puberty, Lupron's not going. That's the UK. That's free. I mean, there's money being generated. So much money that I'll give you a quick analogy. In 2015, our governor in Texas started taking money from a gender clinic. We had 22 kids that were on puberty blockers. 2 years later, after he took $2.5 million, that money on puberty blockers went from a $4.6 million gross profit over a 4-year period of time on that to a 4,000% increase. So, $4.6 million. So follow me here. Where are you at? $4.6 million went to click just under $100 million in a small area in Texas. So that's a lot of money.
You're saying that this is actually being pushed by a lot of the drug companies. I mean, that's kind of what
I'm not
you're saying.
saying that. That's the truth.
You think that's how it is? I mean, obviously those drug companies are here to defend themselves, and they would say that they are trying to.
You know what? I've been trying to get medical people to debate me for 5 years. I had an endocrinologist in Boston Children's Hospital who is the absolute utmost endocrinologist. They're going to pay him tons of money to debate me. He said yes. He found out who it was, and he all of a sudden didn't do it. I even said, you know what? If you do really terrible, we can erase the sucker. Just sit down and talk to me. He didn't do it. I'll talk to anybody, anywhere about the medicalization of children. It's wrong. Here's the second reason. The second reason why, whether or not this offends anybody or not, males who are transgender or are medically transitioning, a lot of them, doesn't matter if you don't like it or not, have a sexual fetish. And that fetish is only basically fulfilled if people see them as a woman. It's the, trans women. It's because there is a fetish tied to that. So if you basically, use biology with them, they lose their erection. So we are medically transitioning children, so straight males don't lose their erection. And so there's a profit model within this to medically transitioned children. That is absolutely the truth. Now, in the middle are all the people that don't know the truth because of things like what happened at Turning Point with that, nothing bad or good on both sides. They were both being,
No, this is the drag.
There was a rally where, they were yelling, and I was trying to talk, and it was just like, I was in the middle, and I was like, I don't want to be on your side, I don't want to be on your side, nobody's intrinsically evil, but it's like, my God, shut up. In the middle is where the information is. This is where the information is.
It's almost like people don't want to listen to either side, but they don't know what side they kind of should be on, because the truth is that this medical transition is a life-changing thing. And these little increments towards it, so maybe it's the drag side of things, maybe it's the pronouns, maybe it's all, could result in children going in this direction.
It just couldn't.
It seems to be like a slow creep of all different things, even the language changing in the dictionary. Women now, the word woman now encompasses a male who is transgender, and now you have to call it he or she, and everything is becoming so convoluted, and people are very confused. I'm very confused.
Everybody's very confused, but let's get back to one word. Let's get back to one word. The one word that everybody needs to understand is why. Why is this happening? And this is the speech that I was trying to do yesterday, which is this. I'm a lesbian, whether I know I look like a man, but I'm a lesbian that medically transitioned. And so my generation, I'm 50, not 48, we fought for same-sex rights. We fought for what I called righteous rights. Stonewall was founded in 1989. In 2003, they pushed through same-sex adoptions. Those were righteous rights. Those were righteous gays and lesbians fighting for rights. They were fighting for rights like, Pond in Florida that had to die alone without her partner in that room with her. Now, in 2013, Stonewall passed same-sex marriage, not just, contract, same-sex marriage, so that people can die with dignity and respect. Those were righteous rights. Those were righteous people bringing those rights. Those were rights that we needed to have. Now, after that is where my community faltered. And how we faltered was that activism is a business. I had no clue You know, I went into this thinking I was just going to try to help everybody. This is a business. So when Stonewall got all of those righteous rights, there was nothing else to fight for. And that's why in 2015, in my opinion, they were getting to, you know, the place where they were going to sign bankruptcy. There were no more righteous rights. Well, in that year, they had a 32% year-over-year growth, and the only thing that they did different was to sign on with Mermaids, who's medically transitioning children. So we are stepping on the children's heads to maintain an organization, to maintain activism. We are medically transitioning kids with all this absurdity so that straight men don't lose their erections. This is the truth, whether it offends you. It's the truth.
But they would argue, and also.
And you know what?
But they would argue. Let me just finish.
Where are you?
Come
on out.
I wish they would.
Let's
argue.
do it.
I'd love to hear them, but they would argue that they're actually providing a
Nobody
service.
will debate me.
No, but they would argue they're providing a service. There is a situation of gender dysphoria, and they are helping children, transition safely. They would argue that they are bringing
Safely? Safely,
This
okay.
is what they would argue.
I know you're not saying this, but here's this. There were 12 medical complications to medically transitioning children. There have been 7 studies that said that it's beneficial for children to medically transition. All of them have either been modified or retracted with oops, it didn't help, or modified with not enough time. The latest study that was just retracted was retracted, and not only retracted, but they found out within that, oh, this is beneficial for kids. They found out that the 12 complications went to 26 complications, and within that study, they hid the fact that 2 kids that were medically transitioning at the time killed themselves, which puts the percentage at a 50% higher rate. And these are the people that are getting all this love. So you're right. Stonewall did do righteous things. I don't believe that they are now.
Well, talk to me about you then. Let's talk about you. What has this left you with? You've had the transition. You're now male.
No, I'm not. I look like a man.
Okay, so you look like a man, so,
Yes.
but because that's where the language is. You're like, well, we don't want people to be offended. So, where has this left you? How in terms of your medical side of things, are you well?
No, I'm not. No, in fact, I'm staying with a physician, and I have another urinary tract infection. I get those, and those will eventually, take my life. And the whole, it's all experimental.
Why have you got something going on?
All medical transition is experimental except for top surgery. All of it.
So your arm, why is that there? What happened with your arm?
Well, that's a bottom surgery. That's a nerve. It's very, very painful. My hand is handicapped. I get infections probably, I would say, every 6 weeks, or when I get stressed out. I have congestive heart failure from a pulmonary embolism. I have to take blood thinners for the rest of my life because testosterone has basically thickened my blood, whether or not I take it now or don't take it now. I have heart, lung, you name it, I have it. And those are the complications we're not talking about. So we're medically transitioning children that now have 12 complications to 26 complications. Every study that said it was beneficial has been retracted or modified. They have early onset osteoporosis. They are having heart disease, lungs disease. We have 26-year-olds breaking their legs. We have, these kids that can't have children. They're sterile. We have boys that will never experience an orgasm. Not just 1 or 2 that get bottom surgeries or take puberty blockers. And it's not me saying it. The leading transgender surgeon in the United States basically says, hey, every boy that has been on puberty blockers that I do surgery on will never experience an orgasm for the rest of their lives. Is anybody, parent or anybody, to take that away from any human being?
I think that the people aren't thinking of what happens afterwards. It might look like it is. It might, you might look like you're the other sex, but actually there are probably a lot of complications. I think it would be good if more people spoke about that, so that people, parents who are talking about their children transitioning and all of this would understand what this involves. So what about you now? You've been campaigning for ages. We've got about a minute left.
Yeah.
Scott, what's for you now?
Well, I've been doing this for about 4.5 years. I've been doing this nonstop, and I've been doing this because I have 3 kids. I've given birth, and I couldn't look away from it. But to be quite honest, this has emotionally, physically, spiritually just absolutely shattered me, and not just shattered me it's shattered me from a human standpoint. I'm absolutely shattered with human nature, with the fact that people say that they care, but they just want to tweet, unfortunately. We need to talk about this stuff. We're butchering an entire generation of children because of people that, want to be social media stars or because they want to make money, and we need to save these children.
So are you, well, listen, Scott, it's been good to talk to you.
Yeah.
Are you going to carry on with the crusade? Or
No. Today's my last day. I'm serious. Everything's coming down. All my videos, everything. I'm done. I've been beaten beyond a bloody pulp, and I'm done. So I hope there's somebody else comes on, but I need to actually get my life back before I die and have some fun.
Well, Scott, I really appreciate this you coming here to talk.